Hey, hey, happy champers, Marnie from Bubble and Flute here, and ching ching, happy Global Champagne Day. Okay, so it's not technically Champagne Day today, it was on Friday, but I kind of feel like when I have a birthday, I don't really have a birthday, I have a birth month, so I kind of feel like Champagne Day deserves at least a week and not just a day. Not that I actually need an excuse to drink champagne, but this week has been a heap of fun to see so many people from all over the planet get into Champagne Day, and one of the most fun things that I've done this year for Champagne Day has been to pair up with my new buddy and my champagne soul sister from Canada, Anna, who has this amazing business called Fit and Flirty Closet. And as you can see right here, I'm modeling one of her awesome workout wear with champagne messages all over it. And I've got another little one in the background there that I bought from her a few weeks ago as well, because, you know, I love champagne, but one of the other things that I love almost as much as champagne is my workouts. So it's kind of like meeting a soul sister, and then there's all these other hundreds of kindred spirits all over the planet who love champagne and exercise just as much as we do. So we've paired up and we've got a bit of a giveaway going. If you haven't seen it on Facebook or Instagram, I have included a link in my email today for you to still enter. Even though you're already subscribers, you can still enter the competition, and we're giving away a gift pack of, in fact, one of these tops and this magnum of Veuve Clicquot champagne, as well as a voucher for using on any product that you like in Anna's store. So just a bit of fun to celebrate champagne, and you know, life's all about balance, so you know, you've got to work off the champagne and earn the champagne. I tend to think that I do anyway. So because we are giving away a magnum of Veuve Clicquot, I thought today in my video I have to crack a bottle of bubbles to drink with you, and I've actually chosen today to pop open a 2008 Veuve Clicquot Rosé. And look, there's a number of reasons that I chose to drink this with you this morning, not in the least because I had it in my fridge ready to go, but also because, you know, Madame Clicquot was an amazing pioneering figure in champagne, and she actually in fact invented rosé champagne, one of my favorite styles of champagne. And this year, 2018, is actually the 200th anniversary of the invention of rosé champagne. So I kind of thought it was a little bit fitting on a day like Champagne Day to pop a bottle of rosé to celebrate its 200th birthday and acknowledge like an amazing pioneering woman in champagne. So this champagne is actually, I'll give you a little bit of detail about it. It's really, really beautiful. So it is a vintage champagne, 2008, which is actually a really, really, really good year. So this particular champagne, well, this bottle's not going to age very well because I'm drinking it, but generally speaking, it's going to age really well. Rosé champagne sometimes isn't something that you would age a lot of, but this one from this particular year, I would really be interested to see how this develops over the next few years. So it is a mix of 61% Pinot Noir, 34% Chardonnay, and a really, really small 5% of Pinot Meunier. So it is a blended rosé. So there's a number of different ways that they make rosé champagne, and I've talked about them before. More information on the blog, and I'll probably pop a link in this email for you as well to brush up on your roséing knowledge. So there is first of all the blended technique, which is the technique that Veuve Clicquot used for this, and that is where they take a champagne and they blend a small proportion of red still red wine that has been produced in the Champagne district, and they blend that into the champagne. The second way is they call it the maceration technique, and that's actually when they let the grapes at the very beginning of the process, when they press the grapes, normally to make a brut champagne that's not rosé, go to extreme lengths to avoid the skins, which is where all the colour is contained, coming in contact with the juice. So the flesh of a grape, whether it's a red, white or whatever, pink grape, is actually still clear. So the colour is all contained within the skins. And so they normally avoid too much contact with the skin so that colour taint in champagne doesn't come across in a brut champagne. When they're making a rosé champagne for maceration, they actually let the grape juice and the skins macerate for between 48 and 72 hours to produce the desired level of colour. So look, the blending technique is the more common technique, and it is easier to be consistent. This particular blending is 14% of still red wine produced in from the village of Bouzy. So Bouzy is actually one of my favourite villages for Pinot Noir. If you know me by now, you know I love a Pinot heavy champagne. Veuve Clicquot in general, the Brut non-vintage is, I think off the top of my head, 55% Pinot Noir as well. So I love those red grape flavours coming across in my champagne. And Bouzy is a really, really cool village and really amazing terroir and a particularly unique taste that comes through, and it's particularly famous, Bouzy, for the still red wines that they produce there to then blend into rosé champagne. So the vintage Veuve 2008 is also, I think it's from 8 different villages, but they're all Grand Cru, our Premier Cru. There's no standard crus in there, so it's all like the top-notch grapes and the high quality, and it's about 8 grams per litre dosage. And just having a little smell now, I've sort of let it sit here and open up for a while. Having the smell now, like I first actually sort of get some red berries, which is pretty common. You're going to get red berries off a rosé. A little hint of really gentle cherry flavour, but not too overpowering. One of my least favourite styles of rosé would be where the cherry like hits you in the face, but there's a little hint of cherry. And it's still 34% Chardonnay, so you do get a little bit of freshness there. Smelling it, I wouldn't necessarily say like the traditional citrusy, lemony or apples citrus. It's going to be more, I think for me, more pink grapefruit or red grapefruit, which, you know, kind of makes sense with the same kind of flavours that you get out of that. And to taste, well, it's just beautiful, really. Really fine bubble, really smooth. It's got a nice, nice amount of, I guess, body to it, but it's also still got an element of that acidity that comes through the champagne. So it actually, with rosé champagne, it can be very, very hard to balance the tannins and the acidity and produce a really approachable champagne. So I said earlier that all of the colour is contained in the skins, but then that's also where all the tannins and the tannic tastes that come through in any wine made from red grapes come from. So making rosé champagne is a real art to be able to balance those two sort of, I guess, elements of wine, which are probably oppose each other and don't work very well together, unless you nail the technique. And this is like really, really beautiful. You can drink this actually on its own. Clearly I am right now at 10:30 in the morning, but I'm not drinking much of it. But I love pairing rosé champagne with either duck or lamb, because I just find they're really flavoursome, but not that ballsy, bold red meat flavour. They're very flavoursome, but they're different, and I think it works really, really well to have that different flavour profile. With the element, both I think in lamb and duck, there is an element of sweetness in those meats that you don't get from steak or beef in a traditional sense. So that's why I quite like that sort of sweet, more fragrant style of red or pink meat in lamb or duck, and I think it goes really quite nicely with rosé, which is a little bit more fragrant. Certainly not sweet. It's a common misconception around rosé champagne that rosé champagne is sweet. It's really not. I mean, this is 8 grams per litre, so it's absolutely brut, but it does have some of that extra fruit flavour coming through from the blended red wine that I think gives it the, creates a perception that it is a little bit sweeter, but really, really gorgeous. A beautiful champagne to be drinking on a Sunday to celebrate the end of Champagne Week, if we would like to call it that. So I popped a couple of links in the email today for you to check out more information about rosé champagne, more information too about the different kinds of producers. So Veuve Clicquot is clearly a Grand Marque or a big house, but there's another 2 kinds of champagne houses or champagne producers. Grower champagnes. Growers growers have to produce all of the grapes, grow all the grapes themselves that they use to make their champagnes, whereas houses like Veuve Clicquot can buy grapes from any producer or any other small house anywhere across the region. And then there's co-ops, and co-ops are a group of members that all band together. Sometimes it's a village, sometimes it's a region. They all band together, and they must use the grapes from within their members and all to produce it, and including they might share facilities sometimes to, you know, might share pressing, they might share cellaring, all different ways. So I've popped that link in there because over the coming 3 months, I'm going to be talking more and more about those different styles of producers and making more and more recommendations for what you can try to get some variety. Like I love Veuve, I love Rosé, I love Boulanger, I love those big brands, but there is a lot more to champagne than that. And what I want to do here at Bubble and Flute is help everybody to learn more about it and know what to try and know what to expect when they try some of those different producers. So thank you so much for sharing Sunday brunch with me. Super keen for you to reply to my email and tell me what you popped on Champagne Day. Tell me what you're drinking with your Sunday brunch or your Sunday afternoon session. Ask me any questions. Tell me anything that you want to know about champagne. Is there anything you want me to talk about? Is there anything that I can tell you, share with you, show you that you're just dying to know? Because that's what I'm here to do, is just, I'm on a mission to help the whole world fall in love with champagne as much as I am. So thank you so much for watching and listening today. Enjoy what's in the email, and talk to you next Sunday. Ciao for now. Santé.